Good morning, everyone. My name is Gilchrist. www.L.G.FITNess-Messiah.com is my website, and I'm going to conduct a little series to try to bring a better understanding to a post that I posted in my Zulu group earlier about too many people are counting calories and not paying attention to the chemicals or counting the amount of chemicals. So let's talk about calories and why counting calories is a illusion. First of all, every food have a different caloric property, meaning that they have X amount of proteins, carbohydrates, or fats, or they may not have one of the group, or they have some resemblance of the group in trace amounts. So I'll do it like this. Let's take an apple, let's take a sweet potato, and let's take a regular potato. They may have some of the same principles, but they have different combinations of starches and sugars and fructose and the different types of sugars with water variables, mineral variables, the things that make them them. So when you're just counting calories, it's one of those illusions that you're assuming a little bit too much just by the number of what it says, the macro amount as far as calories, fats, proteins, carbohydrates. And then at the end of the day, it's just a whole bunch of assumptions that people use to think that, okay, so then I take this calorie, so this is how many calories I'm getting, this is how many calories I'm getting, and this is how many calories I'm getting. So the reason why it's impossible, and I say impossible to count calories inside the human body, or how many calories you're getting, the absorption depends on your stomach, acidity level in your food, how fine the food is, if it's smushed, if it's hard, if it's a solid. Depends on the absorption rates in your small intestines, how the little sacs in the small intestine, how well it's absorbed. Depends on the combination of things that you're taking with it. It depends on your cortisol levels. It depends on hormone levels. It depends on how efficient all the things are working inside your body. It depends on post what you've done more than what it is that you're doing, or future what it is that you're doing. And what I mean by that, I'm going to give you this study and a whole bunch of studies that's verified this, for the most part, that marathon runners used to take those little gel packs. They were coming up with diabetes. And so in the belief of counting calories, calorie in, calorie out, you shouldn't be able to get diabetes because you're taking these gel packs while you're running and you're burning the calories, as the people would say. But what was happening, the spikes in the insulin levels, the drops, the spikes, caused them to get diabetes. So yeah, although you did get some effect of the glucose and the glycogen and some of the muscles, and it did help with some levels of performance, it also causes disease. So it kind of destroyed the myth that you could burn something off or that you could exercise at all. Calories actually work. You know what I'm saying? This is how I do it. This is how real professionals do it. Calories actually work in reverse. And what I mean by that, if you're trying to affect your body and you're trying to look a particular way, then your caloric intake is based upon what it was that you did the previous day. You should not try to base it on and what it is that you're going into to that point of whatever your activity level is going to be. And what I mean by that, marathon runners, they carb up, they take the gel packs, and they'll just push it out. And so they'll have so much glucose in their body, and they can perform, they had energy, and do some other things and stuff like that. But they got the disease, diabetes, because they overshot, what was required to fulfill the level of exercise or whatever it was that they were trying to do. So what I mean by it should be counted in reverse, because I do recommend that you learn how to count calories, because it makes you aware. You start reading labels, you're looking at certain intakes, because it starts as like, if this, then this. That's how it always go in nutrition and dieting and trying to get in shape and preparing for athletic competition and recovery and stuff like that. If this, then this. That's always a question that you always have to ask as a scientist. And sometimes you prove it to be right and you can get it more than not, but a lot of times it's not right and it's not accurate. You're going through this big passage and it's really this narrow. And the more you can narrow it down, the better performance and the better you're going to look and the faster results that you're going to get, and the longer you're going to be able to sustain those results. That's what I help my clients do, and that's why counting calories don't work. So the principle of counting them in reverse. So I'll give you an example for myself. So I did all the things that I did yesterday, my workout and stuff like that, and I knew what I was going to be doing today. I knew about what time I was going to be doing certain things today, so I kind of put some sugars into my body, just some mangoes and stuff at night, and some other things which people say, well, don't eat at night, which is a myth. That's where you recover. Calories and intake is about recovery for the most part. It's not about performance, because you will always have an energy supply. Everyone will have an energy supply. Now, you may break down if you don't have the right minerals and the right things before you go into that performance and overshoot and have an injury because of your deficient or your recovery, or you didn't give a greater amount of recovery time. That's where most injuries come from, unless they're acute. Like if I get hit by a car, boom, that's just something that I can prevent what type of injuries are going to occur right there. Or like in a football game or in a basketball game, if I hit a cut and I tripped on somebody's feet and I roll my ankle, I can't really account for those type of injuries. That's the risk of life and everything that we do, that there's certain risks that can happen. But if I drink all the time and I don't take care of my body and I go and I try to play a sport and I get injured, it's because my ligaments didn't get the nutrition, my muscles didn't get the nutrition, my body didn't get recovered, I had acidity levels, and so my performance is just going to drop. So what it is that I help people do, and I do with my clients, and how we try to get our body fully recovered so that we can, build lean muscle, recover, get our acidity levels down, get our micronutrition, make sure that we have everything inside our bodies, so that when we go into the next day or the next competitive phase or whatever it is we're doing, we're already pre-loaded and pre-recovered, and the actual work actually kicks the metabolism up, raises the metabolism, makes the environmental changes if it's tough enough, so that we're into the fight or flight mode, depending on what we're doing, especially if we're going hard. And then our body makes the adaptations to make the adjustments to get efficient, like building more muscle, becoming cardiovascularly better, looking better, losing body fat, because it's just, it's reading an environment that's hostile. And I said, oh shoot, so we need to, recover and be ready for this, especially if you do something with some consistency. And then when you plan the nutrition, you have the nutrition before then and everything else, you can challenge yourself, you can push yourself, and the body will start making the adaptations. Most people try to count calories, get ahead, what they're going to take in, energy out, energy in, which you don't know what your metabolism is doing. Nobody knows what their metabolism is doing. We can measure heart rate, we can measure VO2s, we can measure blood sugar levels, we can measure a lot of different things, but it's probably less than 5%, I'll give it probably 7% of really understanding what these things in the human anatomy is doing in these particular stages, along with the brain, ligaments, tendons, recovery, etc. So we can measure levels. And how science do it is that they're not coming up with these things. They're seeing a problem. This is how medicine or how science works. They see a problem and they go backwards. So just how science does, they see a problem, they go backwards, and they see what happened, they see the history of it, and so then they make the educated guess, or they come up with the hypothesis that, so this is a lifestyle and this causes this, so don't do this because you'll end up like that. They're not going forward and saying, well, this is causing this, and already have the understanding. They already have these reactions and stuff that's already happening, that they go back with, with history to rewrite history, in a sense, so that they can tell the narrative. They go backwards, they look at it, then they jump ahead to charge you for it and to manipulate you and to get you thinking into a certain thought process, because you see this dead body, or because they support it with dead body and people being sick and everything else, and they jump way ahead making assumptions so that now they can sell you things and they can tell you things so that they can guide you in a direction that they want you to move in. And that's just the real truth about everything. Politics, that's how businesses run for the most part. Some of them are ethical, but you look around us and look at the situations that's going on around us, the appeal of affirmative action, make America great again, and all this other stuff. So, and I'm not saying this to knock anybody, but if you cannot see the signs, if you don't understand the situation and the culture that you are in, and these are the people, and this is what has been going on for X amount of years, and this is the humanity or the ethics of the people who are making these laws, who are saying this is okay, this isn't okay, changing stuff every 10 years because they have special interest groups, and they're sending you on these delusions and misinformed visions about your health and the way you should live your life, then you're following the Pied Piper who is leading you off a cliff. It's the blind leading the blind. And what they always try to do, just like on Newsday, they try to spin what it is by going backwards, so they have a reference point to refer to what it is. They get ahead of it so that they can lead you in a direction where, in most cases, people make a profit. So don't get into the counting calories, but do count calories so that you get a better understanding of looking at things. And then I'm going to make another video to discuss how to look at these things, how it affects your body, so then you can start seeing the chemical reactions, because everything is a chemical reaction when it comes to inside your body. It's not about calories and other things of that particular nature. Once again, my name is Lamont Gilchrist. www.L.G.FITness-Messiah.com is my webpage. Have a great day. Thanks.